3, 2, 1. All right. Welcome back, ladies and gentlemen. It's your boy Razor from RazorTube coming at you with some more Rust Console Edition content today. So, before we get into it, if you guys are new to the channel, drop that sub and like and hit that notification bell for the most up-to-date and recent Rust Console Edition news. And that's for the PlayStation 4, PlayStation 5, Xbox Series X, Xbox One X, and all the OG consoles out there. So, where to begin? I don't know where we're going to begin talking about this Power Surge update that's going to be coming tomorrow for the wipe. So, for those of you who are new to Rust Console Edition, the Power Surge update, which is electricity, is finally coming over to the main branch in Rust Console Edition. So that means everything from intelligence, resource management, base quality of life, and trap bases are coming to Rust Console Edition with this big power update. So what does this power update do, and how does it help us as a Rust player in general? Well, first things first, the base quality of life, right? So it gives you the ability to manage your base and improve it over time. Well, with things like electricity for lights and for even automation processes like turning on your furnaces bulk wholesale with little devices like an igniter. So pretty cool features if you ask me. Now, what else can we do with this power update once it hits the main branch? Well, we can make trap bases, and it improves the survivability of our of our quality of life inside of the map. What do I mean by that? Well, by improving survivability, you can now live in other biomes, such as the snow biome, without having to have a campfire. You can have things like an electric heater, which basically heats up your base and keeps you warm, and you don't lose HP for being too cold, which is cool. So if you set up a couple of these inside of your base, it'll improve your survivability significantly, because you are no longer having to eat food and sit by a campfire waiting until it turns daylight for you to go explore the snow biome. So we talked a little bit about trap bases. What can we use for trap bases? Well, we have things like the heartbeat sensor that you can turn on when somebody walks through a door, can close behind them. Or you can have like a pressure plate and have a Tesla coil, so if somebody walks over a carpet with the pressure plate underneath it and there's a Tesla coil, it'll essentially electrocute them to death inside of Rust Console Edition. So what does that mean when it comes to talking about electricity? Well, it's super important to live inside of your base with some of these components because they add to your quality of life in general. Now, some of the key items that you're going to be seeing when you first load up Power Surge is the large battery, medium battery, and the small battery. These are all going to be somehow intertwined inside of your base design at some point in time when you start messing with Power Surge, which is a good thing. But you also have to compensate and make room for these, because now with your base design, whatever one you've been using, you have to have room for your electronic components. So keep that in mind. We also have solar panels. These are a large factor when it comes to collecting electricity. So now you're going to have to resource manage most of your electricity and how it comes in, how much you spend. And it's a pretty unique system when you talk about the Power Surge update coming to console. Okay, so another thing when it comes to bases that's coming in, which is really awesome, is there will be no more spamming of auto turrets. Auto turrets now require power. They will also require a weapon for you to put in them. Now, keep in mind, when you put the weapons inside of the auto turret, such as this AK, you'll see it appear there, and you load the ammo in. But first things first, you have to have power in order to do that. So let me just give you a little example. So if we take this out and we decide to put this inside the auto turret, you'll go across and you'll wire it however you want to wire it. Doesn't matter how you do it, but make sure you keep it clean and nobody sees where the lines lead to your auto turret. But when I turn this on, Now you're going to see the auto turrets finally having power. The thing is, when you put the weapon in, the weapon can have a little sliver of health, right? And when the weapon fires from the auto turret, the weapon doesn't acquire any damage, right? So there is no damage durability when the weapon's inside the turret. Which leads me to my next point. When you start to fob up on people and you bring auto turrets to guard your fob, you're going to need to have a battery. In order to do that, you're going to have to charge a battery at your main base, and then you're going to have to bring it along to put it inside of your fob before you raid. So that's super unique, right? That adds to PvP. It gives you more versatility when you're building a base because you can put your turrets anywhere. You just got to make sure that you hide your wires and that you have sufficient enough power to power the actual auto turret now, which is awesome. So no more Zergs going around placing a random auto turret on a freaking foundation and then raiding you, right? So that's a good thing. Other things that this power update's going to bring is resource management and intel. What do I mean by intel? Well, now you're going to start to see us having cameras. The very cameras that you see that you need to create or craft an auto turret, you can use for intel. So what do I mean by that? You can use a unique identifier or like a code name for your camera, right? And you go to set ID, you put it in here. And what that does is enables you to get intel on things. Well, you can basically observe your base on the outside to make sure nobody's door camping you. Or if you want, outside of some of your favorite monuments such as power plant, you could put a little camera shack out there to see if anybody's actually at the power plant. I've used cameras in multiple ways, and let me tell you, the camera station that you put down doesn't need power, but the cameras do. So you have to make sure you have enough power or electricity resources to push towards those cameras. But it's another unique way that is going to be game-changing and literally change the way you play Rust Console Edition forever. Now, things that we don't have with this power update that's coming out are like items like the smart switch. Obviously, that goes with the Rust Plus app and whatnot, which you can remotely actually turn on with your phone. But we won't get that probably until way later. But these are all quality of life changes that are going to be a good thing if you know how to manage all of these components and resources that come with it, such as the electricity. So what do I think about this update? It is going to obviously change Rust Console Edition forever. How you play it, how you PvP, how you use your resources in general. And I think it's a good thing. Now, when you talk about the big grand scheme of things, when you look at electricity as a whole, it affects every single arena that you play in inside of Rust. So, do I think it's a good thing? Yeah, I do. But there is a lot of complicated nuances that come with that, which is trying to actually put electricity in your base, where to put the components, how to hide them from people on the outside of your base who don't have access, how to set up turrets now. And those are all coming down the pipeline. Base designs are affected. How you actually grind resources and manage them. Like when you look at the furnaces and you connect the igniter and you're able to turn on like 10 at a time. You have to know that you got to preload them. So there's a lot more to think about when Power Surge actually is implemented tomorrow. So my recommendation for you is if you haven't touched any of the electricity and you haven't gotten good with it in the PTB, because it's been in the PTB about 3 months now, which is the typical standard time for content to sit inside of the public testing branch, you really got to think about what to do and go over there and practice with electricity on the Builder's Paradise servers, because some of these things you're not going to be familiar with, and if you've been on main branch this whole time and you haven't actually went to the public testing branch, you're going to be behind. You're going to see a lot of things be put into bases that you won't necessarily be familiar with that could actually put you in a bind when it comes to rating and other things, such as traps, right? So this is all good information for you to absorb and then take back and then actually implement it into your game plan when you start a new wipe. Anyways, finally I got a switch for my music, which is pretty legit. But when you think about electricity, it's going to be a good power update. I think it's going to change Rust Console Edition for forever, essentially. And it's going to change the way you use the components and how you set up the infrastructure inside of your base from now on. So make sure you're on the lookout for what these components can do. I'm going to drop more videos on how you can implement electricity into your base. So I will see you out there. Remember the power surge update is coming out February 23rd. It'll be in the mid-afternoon for people in the US, so keep an eye out for it. I'm excited about this update. It's going to be awesome. There's tons and tons and tons of content that is going to be coming down the pipeline, from base designs, how to set up turrets, and other types of content that is in and around electricity. But that's it for me. I will see you guys next video. I hope you guys enjoyed the content. Make sure you smash that like and sub button. Bye.